Hello and welcome to today's Primal Flow class. So what is Primal Flow? It is a mixture of some mobility drills at the beginning, some games that we play, and eventually a choreographed sequence of animal flow movements. So all you're going to need in terms of equipment, I usually practice this just on the floor because sometimes the yoga mat can be quite restrictive because we end up moving everywhere around the room. Obviously have a yoga mat if you would like for your own comfort, that's cool. But yeah, in terms of equipment, all we will need is a book. So I've got myself this one, something like quite small, quite light, or another object that you can use is actually your phone, or because we're going to be doing teacups, maybe grab a teacup if you feel brave enough, but something that you're not afraid to drop just in case. That's all we're going to need, and I will see you on your mat. We're going to start kneeling down or find a comfortable seat, whatever works best, and just slowly work through the body, get ourselves nice and warmed up before coming into our main animal flow sequence. So starting with the wrists, take them super tight together, sort of joining everywhere in the palm and just slowly rotating through the wrists. So if you've done any animal flow movements before, you'll know that it's quite wrist dominant. So you just need to spend a little bit of time warming up, loosening up through them as well. And change direction. So obviously it goes without saying, whenever you need to rest, please feel free to just pause the video and go ahead. I'll show you some like wrist recovery techniques in a second, so you can do any of them when you need to. And then back to stillness, you're going to come into some like loopy waves. Allow those fingers to click, allow them to crack. You can go as deep or as shallow as you like. And then change direction. Lovely. Cool, and then from here, just super simple, a nice way is to just shake the hands, flick out the fingers, but also take them upwards as well. Flick them out, shake them out, just so gravity does a little bit of help too. Cool. So one recovery method that we can look at, from a tabletop position, we take one forearm down to the ground. So I'm taking left one, keep the hand nice and loose, and then take the opposite knee on top of the forearm and just start to circle it around. So it's a little bit of like a self-massage because the forearms can get quite pumped, quite tight. And then you just move it up, you move it along, sort of massaging, kneeling wherever. Obviously, like, take your time. But yeah, and then same thing on the other hand, do it facing the camera. Come down, just massage gently, gently moving up wherever you feel that tightness. Obviously it's a little bit awkward to get into. Cool, and then coming up, so another nice rehab or recovery thing to do for the wrists. Find yourself in like a squat position, feet quite wide. You take your hands behind your legs, hands are pointing out, and then you slowly sink down onto those forearms. And then I quite like rocking gently side to side, and you'll see my hands are moving and squeezing sort of involuntarily, but it's just a way to get some blood flow back, and again, a form of like self-massage. Cool. So sitting back down, kneeling or whatever, coming into a little bit of movement for the neck. So just start by dropping the chin to the chest, and then looking all the way upwards. Just super simple, because we want to find stability to this part of the body, particularly when we are in animal flow. So next time your head comes back through to center, you're just going to go right to left. So one more time each way. And back through center, and then right ear, right shoulder, left ear, left shoulder. Just getting a little bit of a sort of stretch sensation down the lateral portion of the neck. So one more each side. Cool, so the next bit, because like I said, we want to find stability into the neck, we're just going to start to activate through our deep neck flexors. This looks a little bit weird. So from a side-on profile, we're in neutral right now, ears are above the shoulders. I want you to try and, without moving anything else apart from the head, stick the neck out, and then retract, draw back in. So again, you stick it out, and then draw it back in. Only go as deep or as far as you want to go. Almost creating like a double chin when you come back. But we're just sort of stimulating these deep neck flexors so that our head is in a more stable position to be in. Just one more time. Cool. Lovely. So from here, bring yourself into a tabletop position for a sec. You're just going to start to wriggle around on all fours. You can practice the hand grip as well, so fingertips, knuckles, heel of the hand. So just gently twisting side to side, then maybe find some circular movements, maybe find some cat-cows, just anything to sort of free up through your spine, get it nice and loose, get it nice and moving. Cool. And then from here, we're going to step the right leg forwards, bring ourselves up into a lunge position. So right now, it doesn't matter how far away the back leg is, making sure we're engaging the glutes and just sort of have the hands by your side so you're bracing. Core is engaged, shoulders over the hips. You just take an inhale and exhale, bend into the front knee as low as you want to go, but try keep your chest away from your thigh. Slowly coming back, inhale down, exhale, return. Just 2 more times, inhaling, exhale, last time, and push. Now heel toe the feet out to about 45 degrees, so we're at a slightly different angle, so a little bit stronger into the inner outer thigh. Hips are still facing forwards as our shoulders. Inhale, exhale, engage, slowly bend. Coming back up, inhale down. So again, 4 times. Make it nice and controlled. Really work to press into that knee, keep stability into the foot. Lovely. Then again, heel toe that foot in. We'll swap those legs over, use your hands if you need. Engagement in the glutes, hands next to your hips. Inhale to bend. Exhale, slowly back out. Again, 4 more times in total. Try to keep the heel flat to the ground as you do this. So we just work on ankle mobility a bit more. Lovely. And then again, heel toe that foot out to about 45 degrees. Both hips and shoulders stacked. Inhale to bend. Exhale, engage, push back up. And again, 4 times in total. Notice how I'm not twisting through my upper body when I go down in the movement. And last time. Cool, and slowly back up. And then returning into your tabletop position before sinking down onto your heels again. So a little bit more for the spine. You're going to reach forwards with the hands. Take the tops of the hands together. Try to collapse your rib cage towards your hips. And then on the inhale, you're going to open up the hands above the head, push the chest forwards, extend, and then again slowly forward to flexion, inhale to open, to extension. So kind of like a kneeling cat-cow. Last time. And then all the way up. Cool, so release. We're going to come down onto our forearms, just holding in forearm plank for a second, just sort of stimulating and awakening the core a little bit more. So forearm plank, elbows are directly under the shoulders. You can have your hands out, but I prefer like holding my hands together. As you step back, maybe take the feet as wide as those hips. And when you come into it, you want to think about having shoulders in neutral, level with your hips, engaging your glutes, bracing through the core, and quads are active too. So when you're ready, up into your forearm plank, take a moment, settle into the pose, feel the push through the elbows, support of the shoulders, glutes engaged, pressing through the toes, quads on, and core braced. So holding here for as long as you like. I'm going to go for about 10 more seconds or so. But again, make sure we still maintain that contact, the engagement, keep the breath strong, and we're just stimulating the core. So 5 more seconds, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, gently come down with the knees, bring yourself back into a kneeling stance. Cool. So a little bit of core awareness. We're not trying to fatigue ourselves too much at the start. We just want to create some muscular awareness and joint work too. So with joint work in mind, take your book or whatever object you fancy. I have a book because it's nice and easy to hold, but you can also do teacups with a teacup, so feel free to grab one if you want the extra challenge. So in terms of joint work, we're going to look at some rotations for the shoulder, internal, external rotation, because a lot of the animal flow movement, the shoulders go through quite a lot. So we're just going to prime that a little bit. Teacups, we're going to do it kneeling. You start with a book in your right hand. Now try not to hold the book so that, I just dropped it, but in theory you don't want to hold it so that, you know, you're making yourself, it's going to be easier. You want to just hold it nice and flat, nice and loose. And you just start by maybe circling it up above your head, rotating it through the hand and drawing it back in. So you're aiming to create a circle upwards and then a circle downwards. And just finding yourself moving through the ranges. Obviously you can start to twist and turn through your torso. Usually if we're standing we get a little bit more help from the hips, hence why we're kneeling today. We're just trying to isolate it more into the upper body. Now see if you can change direction and continue the circles. If you drop it, obviously that's fine. Just pick it up and continue. But the idea is that we're super mindful of the hand placement, of our shoulder rotation, so that we don't drop the object. Cool. So now we're going to swap onto the other hand and see how that one fares. Again, start with it by the side, circle it up and circle it down. You might notice some real differences between your sides as well. I definitely have that. My left is a lot less mobile than my right. Cool, change direction. Remember, try to keep a light grip with the hand onto your object. Cool. Let's go one more round wherever we are. Make it as hard or as easy for yourself. And then bring it back to where we started. Lovely, so hopefully those shoulders feel nice and loose. You can put your object off to the side. And now we're going to come into our main choreograph sequence. So the way that I'm going to teach it, I'm going to show you what we're working on first. I will do the names, the break down the movement, then we'll go through, break everything down. Obviously pause the video whenever you need, take as long as you want to work through the sequence. We're going to slowly build up the sequence and marry it all together and do it all as a flow for about 60 to 90 seconds. So our first movement we're going to look at is loaded beast into wave unload, returning to loaded beast into a left leg side kick through and a right leg side kick through. Right, so now it's going to make sense with the movement. So first off, we're going to set loaded beast into our wave unload, return to loaded beast, into left leg side kick through, into right leg side kick through, and return to loaded beast. Cool. So let's break it down now. So loaded beast. We start by setting our beast position. Hands are shoulder distance apart. We push through. We keep the shoulders nice and stable. Our knees are relatively close to our wrists, so belly button, draw down. That's where the knees are going to go. Toes are going to be tucked, and to set beast, we just lift the knees an inch off the ground. The higher the knees go, the more unstable the body, and the further back they are, the less control you have. So you kind of want to keep everything low and keep everything nice and tight. So, set beast, set loaded beast. You push back into your heels, and then you walk the hands away. 1, 2. Really push into the hands, so shoulders are near the ears, knees hovering off the ground, chin to the chest. So that is our loaded beast position from beast. So quite active, quite strong. Now, next cue, wave unload. You've got to imagine that you are moving like a wave. So it's this really lovely spinal articulation forwards and then coming back. So from loaded beast, wave unload. Push up nice and high, lift the bum away from the heels, come up to your peak. So almost like a down dog if you practice yoga. Then from here, you keep the chin to your chest. You roll those shoulders over those wrists as far as they can go. I need to adjust my legs and move them back a little bit, so feel free. And then from there, you engage, squeeze through the shoulder blades, squeeze the glutes, slowly lower the hips to the ground. At this point, your chin is still to the chest. When the hips are fully low, you slowly extend, you slowly lift up. Then the cue, return to loaded beast. Start with the chin dropping to the chest, push through the hands, elevate those hips, come up to the peak, and then slowly sink back down to loaded beast. So it's quite a nice, lovely, controlled movement of rolling up, rolling forwards, and then rolling back and coming down. So feel free to pause, practice that a couple more times. The next stage from there, after we've done our wave unload, is the side kick through. When we do animal flow, a lot of the time we're working contralateral, which means opposite side to opposite side. So right hand, left leg, left hand, right leg. And the trick is in the naming. So a left leg side kick through, I know my left leg is a primary mover, and I know that the opposite hand is going to do something else. So yeah, so side kick through, very simply, before we come into the transition, what that is going to look like. If we start in a beast position, so again this one here, left leg side kick through. I know my left leg is a primary mover, so I'm going to kick out my left leg to the right side. My right foot lands, I point my toes, and I guard my face with my right hand. Now notice how my body is again super close to the ground. The moment that this leg starts to elevate even higher, I've lost that core control, that core stability, as well as the pelvic stability. So stay super close to the ground, and as well as this leg isn't that far away from me. The further away, the more unstable I feel, so everything is nice and close. We're pointing the toe and my knee is facing up, so we've got this lovely sort of external rotation to that hip. And I guard my face, I try to draw back, so I'm squeezing through my shoulders. Into right leg side kick through, I would draw in, come back to beast, and then right leg would kick away, left hand to guard my face, point the toe, my fluffy bit of my mic just fell off, and again, bum is just off the ground, so super active. Return to beast, and I'm here. So a lot of pivoting side to side. Cool, mic is fixed. So once you've established the movement side to side and you've got it down, you've got it controlled, you can start to maybe make it a little bit quicker if you would like, maybe a little bit more dynamic. So maybe instead of just dropping and controlling, you make it a little bit quicker. Now this kind of ties in nicely to how we do the transition from loaded beast into our side kick through. We do a little bit of a jump. So rather than making it static, what we do instead is have a little hop in and a little hop to swap sides. It's a super tiny hop. We're not lifting the heels, the bum nice and high. We're just hopping to make it flow, make it a little bit more poppy, make the transition a little bit smoother. So if you just want to practice with me as I demo or pause or whatever, from the beast position, we're going to do a left leg side kick through. So the right leg hops and I drop and extend. Right leg side kick through with a little hop and extend. And again, just practicing this, just getting that transition nice and strong, nice and poppy. Set your foundations, understand the foundations first, and then maybe start to pop it up a little bit. So what that would look like from our loaded beast, because imagine we've just finished our wave unload, it would go left leg side kick through. So I look forwards, hop the right leg in, left leg extends. Right leg side kick through, return to beast, back in. And you can drill that, you can practice it as many times as you want. Set loaded beast, into right leg side kick through. Left leg hops forwards, right leg kicks away to left leg, etc, etc. So it's worth just drilling both sides so you understand, the brain gets it as well. It gets a little bit of training. Bloody hell, you can tell that it's obviously quite taxing. It's quite cardio based. You do get a little bit of elevated heart rate. So yeah, practice as much as you want. But yeah, try not to tire yourself out too much with the drills. Save a little bit of energy for our sequence. Right, after that little breather, we're gonna see how that sequence all comes together. We're gonna drill it one side first and then drill it on the other side. So, set beast, set loaded beast, into wave unload. Remember, the chin is the last thing to extend, first thing to move. Return to loaded beast, into left leg side kick through. Right leg hops, left leg extends. Into right leg side kick through. Return to loaded beast, beast, set loaded beast. Into wave unload. Return to loaded beast, into right leg side kick through this time. Left leg hops, right leg extends. Left leg side kick through. Return to beast. And there we go, that's the first section of our sequence done. We're now going to have a little look at the other one. Same process, I'm going to break it down, pause when you need, I'll do the drills, and then we will marry everything together. So again, the second half of the sequence, I'm going to do it first and then go through it with you guys, break it down nice and slowly. So what we're going to do, we're going to come from our beast position into a scorpion reach into a crab reach into ape reach, and then back to beast. Doesn't make sense right now, now it will. So first thing, we're going to set beast into right leg scorpion reach, into right arm crab reach, return to crab, set ape, ape reach, to open, to reach, to open, return to ape, set beast, and then we'll do it on the other side. So obviously you can tell as well with animal flow, the reason I don't have a mat is because you move around everywhere. You don't just end up moving in the same direction, you move around the room. So it's quite nice to not have the restriction of the mat. So let's start breaking it down. We're back to our beast position. From here we're going to come into a position called scorpion reach. And again, the drill is right leg scorpion reach. You know your right leg is your primary mover. So from beast, we set up, right leg scorpion reach. So as I push through the left leg and I elevate nice and high onto the tiptoes, my right leg, the heel draws to my bum, and I slowly open up my hips. Have a little bend, a little softness in that left leg, but you're really strongly pushing through the hands. So kind of like a split dog if you practice yoga. From here, I'm going to slowly start to lock out with the left leg. As the heel drops down to the ground, my right leg follows, it lands, my right hand releases, and I'm now in this position. Now to get to crab, I slide that left leg in, and then from there, I'm in my crab reach position set up. So again, we'll do the other side. Set beast. Left leg scorpion reach. Elevate through the right leg, lift the left heel, open up, slowly drop, slowly land, then slide in, and you're in your crab reach position. So feel free to drill that a couple of times. The bit where you start to drop the heel towards the ground can feel a little bit daunting. You can feel like you're suddenly about to go off kilter, but the trick is in this sort of locking out. So the knee is nice and soft in the bottom leg here, and then as I start to drop, I lock it out, I engage the quad, I really push through the hand that remains on the ground, and then I come in and I slide and I readjust. Cool, so practice that as many times as you like. Just get used to this whole pivoting movement. And then we're going to come into our crab reach. So to start with, find yourself in crab, the foundations. So feet nice and wide, about hip distance apart. You're taking your hands behind you, fingertips face away, squeeze your shoulder blades together, so nice and active into this form of sort of external rotation, and then push through and lift the bum an inch off the ground. Obviously, we're never going to really find ourselves in this position. We transition into this and we slide in. So we want to get used to having already just the foundation strong so that when the hand is there, we know what to expect. So from our crab, we're going to come into crab reach. This is a mixture of a lot of things, a lot of hip extension and thoracic rotation. So from crab reach, pushing through, elevating. We're going to start by taking that left hand towards our chest. Now the trick is to follow this hand. So first of all, we're going to push through, lift the hips as high as possible, squeezing the glute. Still looking at the hand. Then you're going to rotate your chest down towards the bottom hand. So sort of lifting up and rotating, really pushing through the right hand. The final move, that left hand frames the head and we follow the fingertips with the eyes, with the head. And then return to crab. Elbow draws back in, look up at the hand, slowly lower down. And we're back to our crab position with the left hand to the floor. Obviously you might have noticed I got a lot of hyperextension in my elbows. So just be mindful if you do, but also your elbows probably won't look like mine either. So yeah, just be mindful of that as well. Cool. Into the second side, so we set crab, right arm crab reach, push up, elevate, rotate, frame the head. Remember, glutes are engaged. Slowly draw elbow back in, look up, slowly come down. And there we have it, that is crab reach. Quite a nice, beautiful, controlled move. Very, very strong into that single arm push as well. So also it's worth noting, make sure that you have this full hip extension first. There is no point being about here and then trying to rotate, because that's just going to feel really shit in your lumbar spine. So instead, come up, engage as much as you can, and just keep looking up. The last bit we want to find is a rotation in the thoracic spine, because like I said, if we don't have height or enough hip extension, it's going to show up weirdly in the lower back. So maybe that's something you learn to work and develop. Cool. So how we marry those movements together: from our beast, we come into scorpion reach, into crab reach. So let's practice one round on each side. So set beast, left leg, scorpion reach, come up high, pivot, engage, lock out, slowly lower. Slide that right leg in, left hand, crab reach, because we're already here. Push, elevate, slowly down, return to crab, and there we have it. Onto the other side. Right leg, or set beast, into right leg, scorpion reach. Elevate, rotate, slowly lock out, slowly lower. Slide that left leg in, into right hand, scorpion reach, crab reach. Too many reaches. Return to crab. And there we have it. Cool. So that's the first half of our second sequence. From there, we're going to start transitioning into ape. So from crab, again, the foundation, squeezing, elevating. To get to like ape, it's relatively easy. You push through and you find yourself in this squat position. It is quite nice working and drilling this movement, drilling this transition, so you feel more stable doing it. So not only going forwards, but going backwards. So maybe go back with your right hand and go forwards with your right hand. And then swap back with your left hand, forwards with your left hand. So you just get used to moving both sides so that in the future you don't have a restriction on one side. So you're sort of drilling all possible movement patterns. Once you're comfortable with that, setting up ape is relatively simple. We find ourselves in quite a deep squat. Knees are in line with the feet, in line with the hips, and our hands are just resting here. Quite a nice point to just chill out as well, because like I said, the majority of stuff we've already done is very taxing for our wrists. Obviously, this is going to look very different for everyone. Depends on our leg length, depends on our hip mobility, our spinal mobility, our ankle mobility. So if your heels are slightly off the ground, that's fine. If you would feel more comfortable with your toes turned out ever so slightly, please feel free. But this is quite a nice resting point. Ape reach, very beautiful, quite simple, very controlled. Ape reach, the guided movement is tops of the hands together. We dive forwards, chin to the chest, try to push the bum away. Some people take their knees wider so they can almost sink deeper. If that feels cool, go for it. And then we open, so as we lift the head, we lift the chest. The thumbs turn behind us, so more into external rotation with the shoulders. We rock onto the tiptoes and open through the knees and the hips in the process. So super active into the glutes and the upper back. And then slowly close down to reach, and then to open. So quite nice to sync with your breath. Exhale down, inhale open. Return to ape, simply coming back to that position there. So yeah, it's like a really lovely movement for the spine, for the hips, for the knees, for the ankles, a whole lot. And then from there we return to beast. So very similar to our crab position of moving backwards and forwards, we just practice planting both hands, knees come down to the floor, hovering an inch off the ground. Back to ape, you just push away and you sink. So it's worth practicing this, getting that movement down, getting used to it, and really driving into the hands as your knees come to the floor, not just collapsing, because there's no activation there. Particularly if in the future you start to introduce some ape transitions or traveling ape forms, like forwards traveling ape, we want to have this ability to really push through the hands, strengthen the shoulders. So landing with control. And then when we're back to our beast position, we're going to restart the movement and do it on the other side. So the whole thing put together, well, the second half, we're going to set beast into right leg, scorpion reach. Elevate, rotate, lock out, slowly down. Into right arm, crab reach, slide the leg in, push, rotate. Return to crab, into ape. Ape reach to open. Reach to open. Set beast, or set ape first, and then set beast. And we go straight into the other side. I'm going to change position, otherwise I'll go through the wall. So set beast, left leg, scorpion reach, elevate, rotate, slowly drop. Left hand, crab reach. Set ape, set crab, set ape, ape reach to open, reach to open, set ape, and set beast. And there we have it. So that's the second half of our sequence. Like I did at the introduction of both of them, I'm going to run through the whole thing with words, then the movement, and then we shall do it together. So if you watch what it's going to look like, and what we're going to do, try piece together the movements, imagine yourself doing it, and then we will finish doing it together. So the whole thing, we're going to work one side first and then the other, sort of making sure that we are covering all bases. We're going to go loaded beast, wave unload, return to loaded beast, left leg side kick through, right leg side kick through, return to beast, set loaded beast, and then do it on the other side. So we just swap the direction of the side kick through first. Then we're going to return to beast into our right leg scorpion reach, into right hand crab reach, set crab, set ape, do the reaches, set beast, and then do that sequence on the other side. So what that will look like, this can be quite an intense, like 90 seconds of moving. It's all super active in the body, super active in the muscles and the joints. So obviously, like, take it at your own pace. I'm going to do it first, show you what it looks like, and then we shall do it together. So, set beast. I'm going to move away from the wall a little bit. Set beast, set loaded beast. Into wave unload. Return to loaded beast. Into left leg side kick through. Into right leg side kick through. Return to beast. Set loaded beast. Wave and load. Return to loaded beast. Into right leg side kick through. Into left leg side kick through. Return to beast. Set yourself up into right leg scorpion reach, into right hand crab reach, set crab, into ape, ape reach to open, reach to open, set beast. I'm going to move away from the wall. Into left leg scorpion reach, into left arm crab reach, set crab, into set ape, ape reach to open, reach to open, set ape, and set beast. And there we have it. So that was me running through it. You can tell by me getting more out of breath as I go on that it is quite taxing. So remember to breathe, pause at any point. So we shall now do it together. I'm going to give a little bit more cues, a little bit more instruction. Follow to the best of your ability. If you get lost, no worries, rewind. Watch it as many times as you need to, but just think about the wording, think about the cueing. So right leg side kick through, right leg primary mover, left arm crab reach, left hand primary mover. So just sort of like remembering the language as well that goes with it. So let us set our beast. So set beast, set loaded beast, bum back, arms in front. Into wave unload, articulate, roll forwards, push through the ground, look up last. Return to loaded beast, chin in, push up, come down. Left leg side kick through, right leg hops forwards, right leg extends. Right leg side kick through. Return to beast. Set loaded beast. Wave unload. Return to loaded beast. Into right leg side kick through, hop the left leg forwards, right leg away. Left leg side kick through. Return to beast. Cool. From here, right leg scorpion reach. Elevate left leg, open up right. Slowly lock out, come down. Slide the left leg in. Right hand crab reach. Return to crab. Come down, plant the hands. Push forward, step through to ape. Ape reach, dive. To open. Balance on the tiptoes. Dive one more time. Open. Set ape. Set beast. Lovely. Last little bit, stay with me. Left leg, scorpion reach, elevate right leg, open left. Slowly come down. Driving in with the left hand, right leg slides. Crab reach. Return to crab. Hands down. Coming forwards into ape. Set ape, push through. Dive. Open. Tiptoes. Dive one more time. And then open. Return to ape. Set beast. And if you wanted to, you just keep it going. Set loaded beast, wave unload, etc., etc. Or just pass out on the floor. So well done. I hope you enjoyed. A little bit of wrist rehab, roll through the wrists, shake them out. And that was today's choreographed flow. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're just going to go through a couple of cool down movements to loosen up through the body, through the joints a little bit more. Let's start on our back, because that's where it's always nice to be. We're going to start with those legs bent, hands by your side. Gently just let your knees go down right and down left. So if you're still quite out of breath like me, just try to slow the breathing down. No panicked inhales or exhales. Just nice and slow, nice and controlled. Allowing the nervous system to come back to the more parasympathetic state. So slower heart rate, lower blood pressure, etc. Cool. Next time your knees come back to the middle, hug them in, let yourself rock side to side. Then we'll come to a lying figure four. So plant your right leg back down to the ground, cross that left ankle above that knee, lift the legs in towards the body as deep as you want to go, as far away. Maybe just hold the right thigh. Again, I quite like rocking here ever so slightly. And sometimes as well, just for your knees, because they have been in a bent position for like the majority of the class, just maybe straighten up that leg a couple of times, just to get that joint moving a little bit more. Cool, when you're ready, swap the legs over, bringing in, drawing in, holding as much as you would like, rock or whatever it is. And then again, extending through the left leg a couple times if you want. Lovely, and releasing, draw both knees back to the chest, inhaling nice and deep. Exhale, push the knees away. Inhale, drawing in. Exhale, away. 2 more times, inhale, really draw them close. Exhale, away from the chest. 1 more time. And then from here, rock up and down 2 or 3 times, or roll over to your side, whatever you'd feel like. Just going to come back into one last seated pose, so finding kneeling, or finding straight legs, or finding cross-legged. Just start to move through the torso, move through the shoulders, move through the neck. You can gently roll, maybe come forwards to child's pose, or a side bend. Maybe interlace the hands behind your back. Shake out through the fingers, shake out through the hands. Lovely. So obviously it goes without saying, any other cool down movements you want to do, go for it. But thank you so much for joining. I really hope you enjoyed this Primal Flow class. If you wanted more like this in the future, let me know. Any comments or questions or suggestions as well, let me know, and I will see what I can do about it. But thank you, and I'll see you next time.